If you've ever been curious about making homemade pasta, I found this attachment for my KitchenAid standing mixer, which makes it really simple and easy to do. It's really easy to make pasta dough. You just use a ratio of 1 egg to 1 cup flour, and then you just let it rest for about half an hour. Then you're ready to feed it through your machine and boil it. Here's the roller attachment. You can see that it has 2 rollers, and there's a peg on the one side that you simply attach into the thumb screw area of the front end of your mixer, and there's a dial on the front which you can pull out and rotate to make any adjustments. You always start on number 1, and then you can gradually increase the number to make your pasta sheet thinner and thinner. It's really easy to install. You loosen up the thumb screw and take off the metal cover, and then you can simply insert your roller attachment. You might need to twist it back and forth just a little bit to make sure that square peg is fitting directly into the square peg inside the machine, and then you simply use the thumb screw, and I just thumb tighten that. That's all it takes. You can see here there's also a fettuccine attachment. This makes nice thick strips of fettuccine really easily, and it attaches in the same manner that the roller does. There is no dial on the front of this attachment. You simply feed your dough through. And it's worth mentioning that these attachments are really heavy duty. They're made out of stainless steel and they're really high quality. They also clean up really nicely. It comes with a little cleaning tool. If you get any bits of dried pasta in the machine, it's really easy to clean them out after they've dried. This is the spaghetti attachment, and it's identical to the fettuccine one. It just makes strips of spaghetti instead of fettuccine. When you're ready to use one of your attachments, you simply make sure it's secured to the front of the machine, and then you turn it on the side. I always set mine to level 2 spin, and you'll see that mixer blade will rotate, but if you look down through the top of the attachment, you'll notice that that's also rolling. I noticed that the most important thing here is just to make sure that your dough is really well floured on both sides. And you don't need a large amount of dough to get started. I just take a palm size amount and I just kind of flatten it out a little bit. You'll notice that this roller catches it really easily. I don't need to use any sort of effort. I simply hold it above the rolling pins and it will catch it and feed it through. I use my extra hand to catch it and my other one to guide the dough through. And I do go through each level twice. So I've started on level 1, and then I'll rotate the dial on the front of the machine to level 2 next, and I'll roll that through twice. And sometimes I do reflour between passes, and the guide will tell you how thin you need to make your dough depending on the type of pasta that you're going to be cutting. I'm going to be making fettuccine, so I'm going to go all the way to level 7 for this. So that's 14 full passes through the machine. But this is not sped up. This is real time. It only takes a matter of minutes to get it rolled out to a really long flat sheet. It's nice and smooth and easy to work with. Once I have my pasta rolled out to the appropriate thickness and length, I simply lay it down on a floured surface and change out the attachment on the front. I unscrew the thumb screw on the front, and then I put the fettuccine attachment on the front. Same thing, I just twist to make sure it's engaged, and then I tighten it up, and it's ready to go. I'm ready to turn it back on the side. I do again, put it on level 2, and then I just feed that dough right through, and you can see I immediately have fettuccine strips. These can be dried for use at a later time or boiled immediately for dinner. I'm extremely pleased with how easy this was to use. I anticipated that it would be a much more difficult and messy project than it was. It really worked easily, and the pieces are really high quality.